Okay, welcome back everybody. Now I thought I'd go ahead and make this video to give you an insight on exactly my story on how we started our Etsy store 6 years ago. But also I want to go ahead and say that I did create a second channel. I'm going to try to mainly focus on being self-employed and the full details in the story, and also other people's stories that's self-employed from the very beginning on how they got started. So I'm excited for that channel. And when you see this, uh, I did post a video on my other channel, so you can go check it out. And my next video is going to be my full story from the very beginning on how we got started, because I think that's more important than where I am today or where I was. But I thought I'd go ahead and start, give you a little rundown on how we got started. Okay, we can go ahead and start uh, right around where I left my job. If I'm going to start out before that in my other channel, but we'll go ahead and give you a little bit of rundown real quick on when I left my job. Brittany was pregnant with Oakley, our 6-year-old now. When she was born, I took maternity leave for a month to spend time with her, but at the same time, we started our Etsy store because Brittany decided to try to stay at home, be a stay-at-home mom, and try to create some income for herself, and also me working also. She tried a little bit of everything, sewed all kinds of stuff. You might heard of it. We bought a little laser machine, like a little Glowforge, and that does well. That does really good for like hobbyists or like small orders. You know, if you want to get started, because it's really cheap. It's about $1,500 to get one of them. So really cheap to get started making stuff. So it's and learning how to do it. And she pretty much tried to make anything and everything. It's just threw all kinds of products on Etsy just to see what would sell. And she got a few sales coming in. And also we had to take care of our newborn baby, so it was really hard to try to do that. It takes time. We knew it would take time, so we just started that. I had a month off to help her get that started and also spend time with our baby. So we did that, and I went back to work. And it started getting close to Christmas. So it was around this time, around November, we started getting some more orders, which is typical on Etsy. And we started getting, people started ordering custom watch bands because we had those on there also. We had a few different items on there. But we had our silicone watch bands that we could just engrave people's initials or names on. That's all we did is people's names. And we started getting a bunch of orders for those. And a guy contacted us from a company, see if we could do his orders for him. And we asked him, well, how many orders do you have? And he said, well, it's about 1,000 or 2,000 orders. And it was a lot for us at the time. So we said, sure, we can do them. We thought it was a scam at first. We just said, sure, give us the orders and, we'll see if it's real or not. So it ended up being real. So I'm glad we didn't think it's a scam and didn't answer the email. But he sent us all the orders and we shipped them all out and got them all done. And we realized then there's probably a market in that. So we started doing it ourselves and started focusing only on watch bands. And I recommend that too. If you're trying to start on Etsy or something like that, specialize in one or two things and be really good at it. That's one thing we learned. And at the time, I was working also around this time, around close to November. And also she was trying to take care of a baby, and also we doing all these orders. But the place I worked at, I had more time off. I had to take FMLA when I left for a month at the beginning, but I still had another month to take. But the bad thing about that is you don't get paid. But during November, she was so overwhelmed with all the orders, I decided to take the whole time, another month off. And of course, work wasn't very happy about that, but they can't do anything about it. So I took the whole month off to focus on spending time with Oakley, also help her with orders during the holidays, and see where this business is going to go. Because that would be perfect to be able to do this full time and to spend time with their family. Because when I was growing up, my dad, he worked away from home a few weeks at a time and only came home for the weekend and left. So I wanted to be home more than my dad was growing up. So that was a really big goal. So we just went for it. I took the month off and we focused on the business, and we just poured everything we can at the business. And luckily that during Christmas in November and December, we made about $10,000. So we paid for our materials and paid for the machine, and I ended up not going back to work. So I quit, and we just went full time at it, because there's certain things that you could do to put yourself in a better situation. At the time, we didn't have no debt, so we paid off. We didn't have a house payment, and I recommend that to anybody if you're going to start out with something. Have your expenses as low as possible to account for all the ups and downs you'll have at the beginning, especially. So we kept putting more listings and more listings on Etsy, because one thing is, more listings you have on there, the more likely you'll be seen. So, and we figured out that was really important real quick. We learned that the bigger you grow, the more money you have to put back into the business to grow properly, because you'll get more orders, which is going to take a faster machine to put the orders out. But at the same time, you can't overspend, because you're selling stuff on Etsy. It's not, you don't own the business. So you might own the name or the website that you have linked to the Etsy, but you don't own. They can shut you down at any time. So they can delete your listings, they can shut down your store, and you got to be really careful on investing too much in your business on Etsy, unless you invest that money in your own website or your own store. But I recommend, and I still recommend, on holding your profits, stack your money up and save, and then when you're ready, grow something else outside of Etsy. Because selling on a place like Etsy is, some people might not think it's risky, but they own it. They own your page. If somebody they can stop your Etsy, and one day you can be having a really good week selling $10,000 worth of products, and all of a sudden Etsy shuts your store down. So you really got to prepare for the worst nonstop. You got to have that in the back of your mind, and whatever money, save your money for the bad time, because it will happen. But I'm thankful for our store. We sold over 30,000 products on Etsy. If Etsy ends tomorrow, we're proud on what we accomplished on there and everything like that. We went through a lot, and also spending time with my daughter for 6 years. So even if I have to go back to work tomorrow, I'll be okay with it. So, and also that actually happened at a perfect time, because during that same time my dad got sick, so I was able to take him to the doctor's appointments and everything like that, and spend time with him in the hospital and when he passed away and everything like that. So it just everything happened at the right time that allowed us to do that, but also take family vacations and everything like that. So we really enjoyed those 6 years, and I'm excited to tell y'all the full detailed story on my other channel. And I'm going to go in more detail than this if you're interested. The channel is called Self-Made Freedom. I'm going to have a link in the description to go to the other channel, and I'm going to go in more detail in that channel on further back on how we got started, and also the income, how much I made every year and until now. and we had a lot of ups and downs, you know, and Etsy is not doing as well as it used to. So go check that other channel out, and I'll see you on the next one.